Farming Simulator 2017. The Crow. The beloved Crow. It's filthy actually. Let's wash. I'll clean it before we take it back to the shop, because we have just got it leased. We don't own it. I have a microphone in an awkward position there, and that might explain why it was a little bit quieter than usual, but hopefully not. Hopefully you're still able to hear me okay with it being way up in the air like that. But yeah, no prizes for guessing what we're doing today. We're heading down to our newly acquired Field 14 to cut some grass. Like I said, no prizes for figuring that out. I wonder if I could pinch some grass from the edge here as well. I certainly can. As usual, whenever this machine is brought into it, it will take us seconds to do a field. Just a few minutes, if anything, to get this field done. Field 12 is still being worked on by our hired worker. They're still working away on that one. I'll bump the speed up a little bit because I want to get through this in this day today, if at all possible. And yeah, look at that. What a difference fertilising makes. Quite a decent chunk of grass here. I'm just going to go around the edge first. I didn't want to turn too tightly, but well, things very rarely go to plan on my channel, especially when it comes to Farming Simulator. My catchphrase has become, well, that didn't go to plan. Because everyone needs a catchphrase, of course. If you're wondering, I've mentioned this many times before, but in case you haven't heard me say it before, the slight little bits of lag I get every now and again is just the map autosave. Just in case anything untoward happens with my computer or power or anything like that, it saves it every 5 minutes. That is a mod that is available on the in-game mod hub, which is a very, very useful mod to have. This is nothing for this. Although saying that, it's not the smallest field in the world. I do plan on getting quite a good yield out of this field. Well, I hope anyway. I'll just straight line it all the way over to there. And I've immediately turned the wrong way. I'm going to finish this field before I attend to worker M. The fertilizer tank is obviously empty on the cedar. No surprise there, to be honest. I was expecting it to run out. It doesn't look like there's an awful lot left to do in that field anyway, so that's always a bonus. I'm recording this episode immediately after recording the last episode, so if you've left any comments or anything like that, I unfortunately will not have read them yet. But oh, it's good to be back on this map. It feels familiar now. It's like coming home. But this map can unfortunately not last forever. I have other projects I'm working on as well that require equal amounts of praise. Maps such as Gamsting and of course the ever popular The Valley of the Old Farm. Both of those maps are also very good, but Oakfield Farm is just one of those classics. A future classic, if you will. Field's just a little bit too big for my personal taste, but that is by no means me complaining about it. It's just my personal playstyle requires a slightly different map, but this one is obviously popular. we'll get this, this field's actually taking longer than we thought. I thought I'd be done by now. I'm missing too much. I didn't want to miss really any. The odd tough day here and there would have been fine, but that's going to bug me. So I did the same like I did last time, just straight lining it over. I do love this machine. This has got to be one of my favourite farming machines out of everything. This thing is just brilliant in so many ways. I even like the sound it makes when you first turn the mower blades on. Very, very nice sound. But I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about the channel. I've recently been speaking to a few friends of mine who watch my videos, as well as some other people that are invested in the channel, and it's been mutually agreed on the fact that the channel is missing something. We're not entirely sure what that is yet, but there's a few changes that are going to happen over the next coming weeks to try and address that issue. There's going to be new Let's Plays on games that I previously haven't done, as well as some new effects and things for channel intro and the likes. So if you're interested in the channel as a whole and not just Farming Simulator, it'd be worth keeping an eye out for things like that. And if you're just looking to see where else the channel goes in the future, well, it's a growing thing, so it will be forever changing and expanding. So I have a few new projects in the pipeline. That is the reason why there hasn't been any live streams this week. I've been using the time that I would usually live stream to work on things in the background of the channel. So just stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. I expect to have a couple of things prepared and going come the 1st of May. That's the intention anyway. As to whether or not I manage to make that deadline is another story altogether, to be honest, but that's the goal anyway. You'll see some changes coming out on the channel before then, but as of the 1st of May it's going to be quite a different feel to the channel, I hope. Great demand at Empire stores for soybeans. There was a great demand in the last episode too, so I left my trailer down at the town store, so I'll have to go and get that and deal with that great demand as well. Because I do have soybeans, I believe. I'm sure I have soybeans as well. Oh, I missed way too much there. This is quite a big field, if I'm being honest. Didn't realise it was anywhere near this size. It's not the biggest grass field we have, but I did unfortunately spend the biggest grass field on the silage collection. Something I later regretted. So just fold this up and take it back to the farm. We'll get a very good yield out of this, I expect. Oops, came out there a little bit too quick. Visibility is terrible in this thing. It doesn't lower my love for it at all. Oh, where am I going? Made a mess of my grass there. Did a little bit of moving of things around off camera, and I mean just it was a very little bit. I brought the Fendt back to the farm for a start after taking the screenshot for the last episode, and I also went and brought over the Hilux and parked it in like what is possibly the worst possible place to park it, but I wanted to put something in here. Yeah, I could have picked a better place to put it, but here we are. We got it out in the end. So we'll just head down and go and get the class off the worker. We'll leave him the Hilux to have his lunch. It is in the middle of the day after all. He can have his lunch while we continue working. Field 13 is now finished. It's ready to harvest. Well, it's not ready to harvest, but it's not needing anything before the harvest. So I'll just park the Hilux up here for him. Blow the horn at him as we come to a stop there. Let him know that he can go and get his lunch. And we'll take the class back to... I don't like the fact that the worker always puts on the twin axle steer. This field is not the easiest place to get in and out of with this machine. If I'm being honest, it was a bit... You can see the trouble I went to get it in here in the first place. Did the tiniest little bit of crop destruction as well, which I'm not happy about. This is also... This is my favourite tractor. I've got bigger tractors out there, I've got fancier tractors out there, but this thing is just... It's a sexy beast is what it is. Getting a little bit creepy when it comes to tractors there. No, I like this tractor. I like the power, I like the look. I like the size of it. I don't like how vague the steering is sometimes, but... Really? Don't need to fill up seeds, just the fertilizer, although I did change that there. Millet, wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish. Are you gonna... It's not filling up for whatever reason. Try there. No. Actually have to be in the trigger, I think. There we go. Got there in the end. The triggers are unforgiving on this map. I won't bother to fill up the seed, it's not needed. There's still quite a bit in it. We'll just try that again maybe. We just spent $2,000 on fertilizer. That's a bit frightening. Looking at our finances, I'm not sure why, but it seems like 10 grand went missing. Not sure why that is. I've not bought anything. Oh, just check, 'cause that's going to annoy me now. Where's my finances? Vehicle overview, prices, map overview. This way, right, finances. Vehicle leasing costs. I see. It'll be for the Krone. We obviously put another working hour on it. But 10 grand is a bit on the steep side. Not to worry. That machine is worth every penny. So our workers had about an hour while we went 2 fields over to fill this up. So maybe the speed's a little bit off. And we're going to ruin some grass here trying to get this machine in first time. Will it be? It will, look at that. Anyone would think that I've done this before. It's somewhere over here. Lower it and turn it on. I'll just make the turn for the worker. And then leave them to it. On you go, have fun. Run back to our Hilux, which I'm not sure if it needs a wash or not. I think I washed it not long ago. I think I washed it on the live stream actually. Yeah, we'll avoid driving over the field with it. Oh, it's got really vague steering. Don't know why that is. Steering sensitivity is a bit low on it. It must have updated. Well, if I did update, there was an update to this mod. I obviously changed that and made it so that it builds its speed faster, a little bit faster again. Don't know if that's just maybe my interpretation of it, but that's what it feels like anyway. And so we'll just leave the Hilux here this time. It doesn't have an awful lot of fuel left in it, to be honest. I don't think we've had to refuel anything on this map. Not yet, anyway. But let's go and do a bit of hay baling with the Fent. Don't think we require a front weight for it. I think that would be overkill. This thing should have plenty power for the baler. I think baler requires 150 horsepower. I'll just double check here. The baler requires 120 horsepower and the Fent, if I can find it, has 260. Way more than will ever be required for this baler. Sounds like an old steam engine starting up. Nice to have a square baler rather than always using round bales. We're expecting, I don't know, 10 bales out of this field at least. Obviously they are just straight up grass bales, but it's fine. We've got a nice steady 12 mile an hour as well, so it's quite good. Spewing them out like nothing else. Now these bales are not going to be left on the field either, they will be moved. And then wrapped, I'm thinking. Not entirely sure yet, but they won't be left on the field. There's no point leaving them on the field. They'll just rot if they're left on the field. I do have a bale mod. I don't think it's activated on this map, so it probably won't be used on this map. Well, not in this episode anyway. 9 mile an hour uphill, that's not bad. We're dropping bales like nothing else. Look at that, there's loads of them already. How many have we done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're about to drop number 9. I was expecting 10 bales. We're going to get 10 bales in the headland. This is the 10th bale about to fall off as well. So in that case I'm expecting more like maybe 30 bales. It's 11 so far, I'll try and keep track of it. Actually I don't really need to because I'm just going to use the auto bale loader. So I can't remember exactly what it's called. Oh. Yeah, okay. That's a thing that happened. The bale went to a disco. This will bring us around to the starting point again. Or of course the obvious thing to do would be turn around and head back around the field the other way. That's just, you know, the done thing, is it not? I've lost track of the bales. Can't remember. I don't know how many we've done now. Plenty. Well, maybe not plenty, but This corner's a bit tight, and I'm not leaving any little tiny bit of grass unbaled. Everything will be baled. Mirrors are very useful, of course. Nice to have a bale counter. I think there used to be a mod for FS15 for that, but I don't know if there's an FS17 mod. I think it's got an inbuilt one in the statistics menu. But the rate that it's filling up is unreal. A random weird bit of ground texture there. That has brought us back to this point, and brought to my attention that I missed some, which is obviously not allowed, can't be missing any. Looks like there's a bit of mist over there as well, so I'll just go and have I'll go and run over it and see what happens. If it's just uncut grass, then crop destruction will deal with it, but it looks like just a bit of misplaced windrow. I like this baler. A very nice mod. Nicely done. Nice model to it. Very nice indeed. I'll leave 3 rows to do after this, after we get these little sections, these half sections done. And then we'll need to nip down to the shop, hopefully before the end of the working day, and collect these bales up. There's a bit of uncut grass there. Left quite a bit of uncut grass around here actually. There's this little bit here that I'll get while turning. This is going to be a bit more tricky. I just nudge that bale out of the way, or climb on top of it, that works too. Really? Trapped by a bale? Object too heavy. I'll change that. Just place the bale nicely over here. Turn that back off because the muscle mode is definitely cheating. All I wanted to do was not miss any. Your bale was in the worst possible place. There's always an issue that happens, isn't there? Try and nudge a bale, you end up getting done for bale harassment. I'm sure there's probably a law about treating bales like that. The RSPCB, Royal Society for the Protection of Bales. That's totally a thing. No mistreatment of bales will be left thingied. I don't know. I have no idea. A few more passes on the field and we'll be done. Loads of bales in this field actually. I wonder if we actually are going to make it to our 30 bale mark. Seems we just dropped the bale. I'll come around here, get the little bit that we missed up the top up there. and drive over these tufties of grass too. Of course I missed a bit. Why wouldn't I have missed a bit over here? I'll go for the middle one. Gives us more turning room for the other two. I like how quickly this fills up. Apart from that one irritating bale that kind of decided to have a dance as it was leaving, everything's gone smoothly with this mod. Hired worker's still working, don't know what he's working on, he thought it would have been finished by now, but there you go. Maybe he's just doing it to get a little bit extra money. Typical British weather, it's about to rain in summer. I like how the sky almost, I'm not sure if it actually does, but I'm not sure if it's an intentional thing or if I've just never noticed before. But it's like clear blue skies that way, and then clouds, rainy clouds over that way. Not sure if that's a dynamic sky on this map, but it certainly looks like it. And we've got rain approaching, and well, rain approaching. Oh, okay. Let's just pretend this bit never happened and do it again. Too busy looking at the sky. Yeah, we own this baler, it's not leased, and we're going to be definitely putting it through its paces. Get loads of bales done. I'd like to get a square bale wrapper. I don't think I have one installed, but I'll certainly be getting one and wrapping these bales as silage bales before selling them, of course. We will also make use of a few of them for the cows. They won't all get wrapped because we'll keep some for the cows. Saves us having to buy any more cow feed. We'll probably still have to buy our straw bales, but that's okay. I've got a pile of straw sitting in the farmyard anyway. I'll probably go and bale that up, in fact. Great demand at the spinery for wool. Well, I don't have any wool, so... I say spinery, spinnery. I don't have any wool, so... don't harass me with that. Wonder if there is a purpose-built, purpose-made, placeable area. In fact, I know there is. It's at the bottom of the bottom of the farm. It's a purchasable area. And from what I understand, it's not overly cheap either. Not that money is much of an issue to us. There we go, all nice and tidy. Make the most out of the field. And climb up this quite steep hill and head back to the farm. Where we're going to do a totally realistic thing. I do like this baler, it's quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Not too big, not too small, just right. Well now, that went down really quickly. there would be 2 little bits left in really awkward locations. And the baler would be unwilling to turn the right way. I'll just run over that one and that one. I'm sure there's a way to unload this baler here. Oh, we'll turn it off. Yeah, unload baler. There we go. Got a bale out of those multiple bales that we destroyed. We'll just fold it up and pick it up and turn that help window off. There's that beloved frame rate drop. Oh, how I've missed it. I think it has something to do with the cows, actually. Okay, that's what the frame rate drop causes. Helper L is blocked by an object. How can they be blocked by an object? They're supposed to be in the middle of the field. Yeah, the field's done, is it not? Yeah, this field's done, so... bar one tiny little bit there, but I'm not bothered in the slightest about that. And then again, there's always this bit. First need to unfold the sword. Yeah, I'm trying to. Is it gonna lower or... no, got to wait. There we go. I'll just finish this bit off myself. For all the time in the road this is gonna take, one single little tiny pass of this field. That is this field done enough for me. Before I leave the field, I'll just double check on the map. Field 12 over here. For type 1, yep, it's all done. Yep, all done and growing. This cedar finally did get used in the end. I was wondering if it ever would actually see some real use, but it's done 2 fields. So it's not too bad. But yeah, we need to park it up somewhere. There's only really one place that this thing fits in the farm. And we need to very quickly use the follow me mod to go down to the shop and get a bale loader. So we also need to bring the trailer back. Yeah, so the only place that this thing fits is in this really awkward bit here next to the plough without... try to park this thing in here without hitting the plough or getting the tractor stuck. It's always fun. So we'll park up our class because we use it all the time, so it'd be nice to use the Fendt for a little bit. Oh, what have I done now? What are you actually stuck on though? I think what we'll do is we'll close this door and this door for now. Just because we will be leaving the farm obviously and we don't want our expensive tractors going missing. Do still have some equipment to put away, but not right this very second. I'm more worried about purchasing the auto stack, I think something it's called, the Arcason FSX 6372. It can only take 16 bales. That's concerning. We're going to buy it. I'm going to definitely make use out of it. And head straight down to the shop and go and get it. And head straight down to field 14 and be using it straight away. Hopefully before the end of the working day. To be fair, it probably is the end of the working day already, but I think bales disappear overnight, so I want to get them brought away as soon as possible. And I don't have any idea how long this episode already is, or how long it's going to end up being, but that's the fun thing. When you're enjoying yourself, it doesn't matter how long it is. I still need to fix the level of detail in the graphics settings. It's just a bit weird on the road. It's fine in the fields, but on the road it's a bit weird. A tyre hanging off the side of the road there. I'm sure he got a little bit frightened there as to whether or not he was going to make it home with his mirror. We'll just get down to the shop, pick up our auto stack, and yeah. I keep forgetting how far away the shop really is. It's not exactly close, but you can just see through the trees there. You can actually see the machine waiting for us. Or it's not machine, the equipment waiting for us. Quite a bit of background noise today. I do apologise about that. I don't know what's going on with the neighbours. They seem to find a new way to annoy me on a daily basis. They're not the quietest of people, not by a long shot. I'm not the best neighbour in the world myself, but there's common courtesy, something that my neighbours certainly don't have for me. Oh, the roundabout of doom. I have memories of this roundabout, actually. Bad ones, but still. Been quite a few times now I've come around that roundabout and bad things have happened. I think I'm now kind of an expert at it. Well, to be fair, an expert wouldn't have crashed in the first place, but that's another story. I can't remember where my telehandler is. I think it might actually be in there. Yeah, it is. I just got a glimpse of it there. You can just see the boom standing up. I need to bring that back to the farm at some point as well. Park it in our machine shed. It's going to get an awful lot of use really soon as well. How far away are we from the road in question? Well, it's still ages to go yet. Only halfway there. This map is actually really quite big if you look at it this way. And I didn't notice until the live stream that Field 34 is also owned by us. Did not realise that at all. It's quite a big field in itself, probably one of the bigger fields that we own, to be honest. Maybe Field 15 might be slightly bigger than it. But speaking of which, we'll be turning very soon. This next junction on the right. Are we going to make it before that car? Of course we are. We're terrible drivers anyway. Everyone just expects us to pull across in front of them. Tempted to do the same thing that we've done to Field 14 to Field number 2. Buy it, cut it and bale it. something I will probably do. It's a much, much bigger field though. So we'll get a ridiculous amount of bales out of that. We're struggling up the hill here, that's not what I expected. I'd usually use the class for jobs like this, but I do like the Fendt. It doesn't get an awful lot of work, so it usually just sits there or gets used to work on the cows and things like that, so it's nice to have it out of the farm and actually working. How do I unload this? Operating position. That'll do. It looks like the rain is just about to start, which is very inconvenient. Go around the field first. I like how they're called square bales when I don't know where the name came from because they're clearly rectangle. Nothing square about them. And there's the rain. Lovely rain that's probably going to be detrimental to our bales. So we need to do this as quickly as possible. Now this is going to struggle going back up the hill. We're only half loaded and it's already struggling. This may actually be a job for the bigger class. Given that we've got a time restraint and things like that. Presume that wet bales are bad bales. We can pick up 5 more. Well, we know if we get 2 full loads then we made 32 bales out of this one field. Obviously there's a grass bale in the farmyard to pick up as well. It looks like we got 14 bales off the headland. Missed that one. Got that one though. That's always good. And we'll go for this one. Put this into transporting position and go down to the farm and find somewhere to put them. I think they'll have to go in a shed somewhere, to be honest. I just don't know what shed. With the beacons and the headlights on. This shed right there would be the most convenient, but I don't think it's actually tall enough. I don't think any of the sheds are going to be tall enough, to be honest. No, it's going to have to be one of these. Turn off lights when not in use. Now, here comes the fun bit. Trying to reverse this trailer around a corner through a narrow doorway. Gonna have to come back out altogether. There we go, we got there in the end. I'm not looking for anything fancy for this, just want them unloaded. Preferably they fit inside, without clipping through the roof. something about there. It's the first set in anyway. I only expect there to be 2. Is that not finished yet? There we go. It takes a little while to come back down actually. Head straight back to the field. It's 9:30 at night now, so we're definitely about to lose daylight, which is not good. But I do need to get the rest of these bales done. So again, into transporting, well, out of transporting position. And there's the first one. Well, yeah, we're definitely going to get at least 1 more load out of this. Probably 2, to be honest. I'm not complaining at that at all. That's a good yield from such a small field. I need to be around on that side of these bales. I'd like to get all of these ones from the bottom of the field here. If we can make it. It looks like the rain stopped, so that's always good. There's just a passing shower by the looks of it. Really struggling up this hill here. Looks like we're going to end up having 3 loads from this field, which is a lot more than I was planning on having. I'm going to do this a little bit different. There's a bale up at the main entrance here that's in a really awkward position. So I'm going to see if I can go and get it next. And then another load at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So kind of an awkward amount, but that will give us a total yield of 44, I believe. Not sure how good my maths is on that one. 2 loads so far. We've got 32 bales in total. Obviously we've got 16 on the back, 16 at the farm, so there's 32 bales in total that we've already picked up, with another, I can't even remember how many I said now, I think it was 12. Yeah, I think it was 12 I said, which would give us 44 bales from field 14. But I may have miscounted the amount of bales we have left, but we'll find out. Now we have this joy again. Where are we? Almost done it in one. Oh, I don't want to do that. Can I cancel that? No? Apparently not. Now it's just having a moment. Now it's having an even worse moment. Whatever keeps it happy. I did not want to do that yet. So you're gonna pick that up or what? That's odd. And I won't pick up the, I think I've broken it. That's a bit annoying. Now we need to try and get it through the door here. Unfolded like that. Which I can't see happening. Then again, I did just do it, so... Put the help window away. Not sure how we are for being lined up with the other ones. Close enough, I think. Oh, that's coming down. We'll just have a little look here. Yeah, there's a gap between them. That's fine. Can't walk through it. They are leaning a bit, though. Just gonna pick up. What's the deal with this? Have I broken it? There it is. That's better. Also, we're now faced with the fact it is now dark, 11 o'clock at night, and we still have bales to pick up. Definitely going to be a late one for us tonight. But that's fine. This is probably going to be a longer episode too. But all in the name of bales. I can't even see the bales anymore. Too much glare on my screen and everything's just green in this field now. I think there's one over here. So if there's one there. There's one. And another one here. I maybe see better in cab, not really. Just a little bit too much glare on my screen and it's a little bit dark. Looks like there's one up here. One over here. I did see at least one more there. I counted 12 before and this will only give me 11. So where is that other bale? I don't actually see one. Did I miscount? I'll just double check. I can check on the statistics. I said 44, so statistics. Created bales 46. Okay. 2 at the farm. So yeah, there should be another bale in this field somewhere. 16 and 16 and 11. Here, there's 2 bales at the farm. There's another one in this field somewhere. I think if it's going to be anywhere, it'll be over this way. Maybe right down the bottom. I can just check by turning the brightness up on my monitor. There it is. Just like that. We have all of it. These bales off the field. It's 44 in total. Plus the 2 at the in the farm makes 46, and we're finishing after midnight, which is a very, very late night for any farmer. That's the kind of time you expect to finish during harvest, not just in the middle of summer while you've been picking up some bales. I suppose the general thing is bales aren't important, so leave them be type thing, but I like to finish every job I start. I like to finish every job I want to start, should I say. I'm not going to bother to pick up the two at the farm. They can just stay there and get them with a telehandler. There's £6,853 from sold milk, and then a whole heap of money that's gone out on expenses. Obviously our trees never brought us in anything, so they will need to be watered. For those of you who don't know what I'm on about, I have fruit trees that are down in field 15. I just jump out and, oops, pressing all sorts of the wrong buttons today. We're a little bit too far back. Try about here. Oh, let's not do that. Or let's do that. Come on, don't do this to me. If I unload there, all sorts of bad things are going to happen. Ah, this is just annoying. That's going to stay stuck out now, isn't it? I need to try and squeeze the tractor through this door again. Actually, I don't do it. I can just line it up, because I'm not going that far in this time, so drop them off here. Don't think it's going to be anywhere near as far back as they need to be. Okay. It's a bit weird how it does that every now and again, but there you go. And just drop them there. Okay. Don't know why it does that. I'm going to pick up that bit too. Any second now. There we go. Now, not my favourite trailer I've ever had, but it done the job. Kind of. Did the job alright actually. It was just mainly issues that it had with me that were the problem. Just out of interest, how much does this construction site, placeables, etc.? 58,000, yeah, we'll go ahead and buy that. Open up the gate because I have plans for in here. Money making plans. We're now down to 800 odd thousand pound, which is concerning. So let's park this tractor up in this shed and call it a night. So it is nice to see the map at night. 1 o'clock in the morning we're finishing. That's a terribly late night. You can see we got that one's nowhere near where it needs to be. I will close up the gates. We definitely need more lights kicking about the farm. Like that. Close this gate so the horse doesn't get out. I don't think there's any lights in here. No, there's not. Ah, the nice cozy fire. Climbing the walls now. That's always a good sign. There's a light switch somewhere. Where's that light switch? I'm pretty sure there was a light switch somewhere. There it is. Always dark. Kitchen's always dark. Apparently no light in here though. Turns this light on too. Very useful. Again, no light in the bathroom. But thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully you have enjoyed this one. If you did, then hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, but hopefully with less hours put into baling. But I will see you all next time. Bye for now.